to our conversation that Kieran totally
the man wants to be dominated. The man wants to be dominated. We're just putting it out there. We were messaging about it. We're just putting it out there. He's making it so obvious.
Welcome to The Story Thinker, a Webtoons and Witcher podcast for superfans with scene-by-scene analysis. Featuring sharp co-hosts for a fuller picture, we dive deep into character psychology, relationships, and theories. We'd love it if you could like, subscribe, comment, and rate us on all podcast platforms and social media. For bonus content, you can support The Story Thinker on Patreon. Let's begin.
Hi everyone, and welcome to Purple Hyacinth, episode 147, Right Reward, with Lily and Bundin.
Hello. What's up, guys?
All right, so we're reading this episode right after it released, and we're gonna be doing some live detective work because there is a lot to decipher in this episode.
There's so many layers. Like I said, this one probably could have benefited from soaking in for a day or two, but like here we are, we're going at it live. We're gonna figure this shit out.
Might take a while, but you know, debating in real time is also really fun. So
exactly.
Whew. Yeah, leave your speculation below. All right, so we open up and we are in the, well, where are we actually? Well, Tristan's talking.
Tristan's office. Yeah,
in the APT. I don't know where his office is, so I'm assuming it's in the APT building somewhere.
Why do I feel like we never see him?
Yeah. I haven't seen him in his office. I don't remember his office.
Never see it. Like, is his office in the main ADP office? Because I feel like we never run into him.
Oh, I just because Lauren works at the 11th precinct. What if they probably just have like a general police building? Maybe it's a part of like the palace complex or some other building.
Yeah, because like how many times have we seen Lauren like leave in the morning? You know, like Tristan's having breakfast and she's like, "I'm out. I'm going to work." You think if they worked at the same precinct, they'd leave together?
Yeah, I assume it's the
right?
building also. Yeah, they'd pop in to see each other if they were in the same building.
Yeah, right.
All right, so he is on the phone. I happened to like, my first thought was like, oh my gosh, I love the teal wall because I am obsessed with teal. So I noticed right away.
Teal and brown is a great combo, like the wood.
Yeah, especially with like the gold accents. Like teal and gold is so regal. Love that color combo. Yeah, and you're right with like the wood and the mahogany.
So ergo, Tristan has good taste, thus he cannot be evil. We have proven
it. Honestly, he's the least sus man in this entire thing. Like man as in like older man. I think he's the least sus. Him and Hermann.
Throw us for a loop, but we could discuss that later.
Yeah.
True.
All right, so he says soldiers are still scouting through the deeper levels, but we haven't found anyone else so far. We'll map out every entrance and tunnel and make an inventory. There's too much stock for us to move it safely for now. Which I'm like, what's gonna happen? I'm a little nervous about that statement.
I mean,
it's like we can't ever have a good line in PH without being nervous about it.
Yeah.
Like, yay, we got all the stuff. There was nobody there, nothing exploded, and we're like, this is bad. Really bad. Okay, but did anybody else get suspicious of his profile here? Okay, what episode was it? Bundin, maybe you'll remember the one where the guy is wearing the cloak and we're trying to figure out who it is and he's talking to the messenger and some people are like, it looks like Hermann, and some people are like, it looks like Marge, and it's like it could be really any of the middle-aged men in PH with the profile, but I don't know. I'm like,
was that the one
without his glasses? Can Tristan see without his glasses?
Is that the one with
that guy didn't have glasses?
Which episode was that? Is that the one with Kieran's flashback to?
I think so. I know for a fact Kieran is in that episode. I feel like I did a reread somewhat recently and now I can't remember which episode that is. But you know what I'm talking about, right?
No.
There's that figure that's talking to the messenger and he's like, you messed up the operation. We're going to have to take care of this ourselves. We're going to have to be more careful. And then all the like Morgan Green stuff happened after that.
Is it the one where with Morgan it's not the one with Morgan's watching Raphael. Before that?
It's around that arc.
Oh, so like when the 7 was meeting with all the other apostles and the leader, or like did it involve?
No, it was a private meeting. It was like apostle. It wasn't one of the apostles. It was one of the messengers in the bird costume.
Okay, maybe.
Okay. Yeah. He basically said like, you guys screwed this whole thing up and we're gonna have to be more careful. I will try to find it at a later point and send it to you guys.
Yeah.
Okay. Anyways, now that I'm noticing that guy wasn't wearing glasses, I'm like, can Tristan see without his glasses? And does that automatically rule him out as the leader?
Well, you know, maybe he's just been faking all along, and Lauren
It could be fake
lied.
glasses like Kieran's glasses.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
And-
and I mean, we do know that he hasn't bothered putting sidebars on them, so clearly maybe they're not meant to be effective.
What are they, pince-nez, when they just stick on your nose?
Oh,
That's what
the
it's called?
wait.
Do they
Like,
really
Wait,
actually
is
do
it
that?
still spectacles or is it when there's
There's
just
a word for
no?
it.
One is a
Pince-nez,
monocle.
no?
What's a
Pince-nez?
monocle?
No, there's ones that you could just put on the tips of your nose. I think like Teddy
Really?
Roosevelt wore them like that.
Spectacles.
Yeah.
No, pince-nez. I think you're talking about pince-nez.
Pince-nez. Yeah.
I did not know I didn't know you actually they did need sidebars.
Huh.
Another,
Yeah, they're just hold on to the tip of your nose. Yeah. Googled it. Yeah. They're the ones that are just on the top.
Okay, I learned something new.
wow, very interesting.
My friend's dad had like a pair, like an old pair that he like showed me once. I was like, oh, cool. So,
Badass.
Very cool.
Yeah.
All right. So we're suspicious, and he says, now we see that Lauren is listening as Dakan is on the phone with him, and we hear Tristan over the phone. Soldiers will remain permanently posted here until we've established a strategy. The operation went well otherwise. Nobody was in there. Looks like they've been alerted and abandoned the premises promptly, leaving everything behind. And Lauren is frowning. Those damn moles have metastasized so deeply into our system, it's unbelievable. And she's looking at the desk, and Falcon hangs up the phone and he says, I see. Thank you for the update, Tristan. I'll recontact you in 1 hour. Huh. All right. When should we discuss susness? After
I
this?
know. I'm like, well, okay, already it's sus. We already know that the mole alerted them because they're gone, right? Like they should have been guarding all this stuff.
Yeah, I'm guessing the
This is
mole.
me reading too much into everything, and like you said, Mindy, we're doing this detective work like live right now. But this is the bag with the documents in this panel that Kieran left, and
Yeah.
that's the same panel that says these damn moles have metastasized.
Oh my god, no, I'm not.
I don't think it's Kieran. I'm just saying.
Well, we know Kieran is a mole, but does that have to be?
He is a mole, but how much he had to, I don't think that he would have not told Lauren.
I don't think so either.
No.
I don't think so. But
I
I'm
hate half the
just now
heartbeat
noticing
function.
this in real time that they're zooming in on the bag while they talk about the moles.
Well, maybe Lauren's thinking about it, and also maybe Soph and F just like to mess with us. Yes, they like to mess with
Well,
us.
that's-
we know
yeah,
that. Maybe it's to say that Tristan is suspecting Kieran. I don't think he is, but he hasn't shown us that he is, at least.
I think it's just maybe they wanted to show that they have the case there to be like, oh, so Lauren took the case to Dakan, like non-verbal. It could
Oh,
be
that
be
makes
doing more
sense.
than one
Yeah,
thing.
because she's at the castle.
I'm assuming
Um,
Dakan's office is in the palace, right? So
It
yeah, I
has to
guess
be because she does say later on, like, I hate being at the castle, so it would make sense.
yeah. Also, what was I gonna say? Yeah, the operation went too well, and like all this, I like you could just tell that it's like, oh, something's gonna happen, and it's gonna be like, it's gonna happen like in a few episodes.
It's been too good. It's been too smooth. We've had too much cuteness. Everything is gonna go to deep shit.
And then on top of that, the thing with the mole letting them know to like clear out of the mines. The same mole, it's the same reason why Bella went to kill the guy in the first place, because the mole came in, told them about this, so they sent Bella and then evacuated the mines at the same time, covering all their bases.
So, question: are we totally clearing Tristan? Because I didn't see anything sus in his. I was like, I think every single line, everything. I didn't think anything
At this point, I'm more sus of Dakan, not Tristan. Tristan would be the ultimate bait and switch. Like if it's Tristan, I'm gonna throw my phone. I'm done.
Yeah.
Man's too cute. Like I don't know how it could be him. Dakan, however, is becoming increasingly sus to me.
All right, so let's read through his conversation and
Okay.
and analyze him.
We can
He hangs up the phone and he opens his arms wide and he's so cute. He's like, by the gods, Lauren, this is a huge relief, an immense victory, perhaps the biggest one we've had on the Phantom Scythe in years. Okay, so I was like, okay, how is this not a lie? How is this not a lie?
I know that's what I was reading too. I was like, it's vague. It's vague.
He doesn't say
Maybe
I'm
saving-
happy, right? He's like, this is he says
He says this is a huge relief. He doesn't
I am
say
relieved.
I am so relieved.
He's a good actor then, I have to say. He looks very genuinely happy.
I'd like to think he is genuinely happy.
But he really does love her, even if he is deeply involved in the PS. He really does love her. We know that.
Yeah.
I don't know. I know I like I could be sus of him, but I don't think he's gonna turn out to be anything. Or if he is, he's still on like the side of good. Like he might like be working with them to try and like bring a solution, but not like working with them and like planning all the stuff. That's like as far as I can see his involvement. So I don't really. I like to think of this as a good moment between a godfather and his goddaughter, and him just being proud of her and her accomplishments and being concerned. But I know that I sometimes live in delusion, and that's okay.
It's always deeper. It's always deeper than that.
I like your take, Bundin. I think it could be possible that he's one of the good guys in the PS. We hope.
I think that's possible. I think it's possible.
Listen, Kieran's in the PS, and I don't know if I would exactly qualify him as a good guy, but
He's a good guy.
we love him.
He's a good one.
So he's adorable. Now he pats her on the head and he says, "And it's thanks to you," and gives it his proud little smile. And she has this adorable, adorable smile back. She's so cute.
Oh my God, it's the cutest thing I've ever seen.
The facial expressions are popping off this season.
They really are. It's just like even the touch, like even the non-romantic touch has been so good. Like her just like grabbing his hand and being like, "Oh my God," kind of embarrassed. Like, "Oh, it's not me. It wasn't just me."
She says, "It's rather thanks to Green and her associates. I just put the pieces they collected together. Can't quite believe what happened over the last 24 hours. And Dakan, who by the way is fine.
I was just about to say that. I'm like, Dakan looking fine AF these panels, sir. Especially this like coat that he's wearing. I am into it.
Yeah, I forget that back when we were first introduced to him, he didn't have the goatee.
I know. I like him without the goatee. He still looks good with the goatee, but I like him with that. I think just maybe because he looks a little bit younger. Like
I think it's because a lot of like most of the men in the series like don't have a lot of facial hair except for Tristan kind of and March. So I feel like
wait, no, Stefan does too.
Stefan, well, Stefan's blonde, like gray haired now. I feel like he looks distinctive. There's a lot of like brown, blonde men.
It all blends together.
I feel like that just kind of distinguishes him a bit more. I mean, he's also the only character that we've seen with the green eyes.
Yeah.
So
gorgeous.
I don't know. They look kind of blue.
But they're green. No,
yeah. Totally no, look. They look blue.
I don't know what you're seeing. He's green.
They look blue.
I feel like he's always had green eyes. Maybe it's just like the light. But yeah.
I swear they're blue on my phone, you guys. I swear.
I believe you.
Well, I mean, people's color perception is different.
That too, exactly.
I could also be colorblind, who knows? But I'm like, I don't think he could be a 4 though, because we had that discussion about the blue eyes.
Yeah, no, he's definitely those are pure blue eyes.
I just don't know. I also don't think that Dakan would have the ability to train somebody like Kieran.
He doesn't give those vibes. I don't know. Like I said, he seems like if he would work with them to bring peace and try to be a lot more diplomatic about it. He wouldn't be involved in like creating these terrorist plots.
Yeah, I agree.
Watch me be wrong. Watch me.
We're all gonna be wrong. All of us. We're all gonna be wrong.
Blindest of all.
Us, the readers.
Now he is very concerned. He says the problem now is that your identity will leak out. I've spoken to Hermann and ordered him to swear to secrecy everyone involved in the case, including the medical staff. You've shown brilliantly, but, and Lauren smiles very wryly, I've also hung a target on my head by doing so. Yes, and he says, I beg you to lie low and be careful in the next few days, Lauren. As soon as he said that, I was like, oh my.
I was like, okay, what's gonna happen?
He's gonna be like out into like the undercity. She'll be in Phantom Scythe territory. She'll be going to these like their bars of like
the underworld, underground, whatever it's called.
We've been waiting for her to be like YOLO and go into the underworld against Kieran's wishes, against
since it was mentioned. We've been wanting Dark Lauren for an entire season now.
Yeah, we're gonna see her in a hood going into in her murder hood like Daemon Targaryen.
We need Lauren in a murder hood. That's the only the outfit change we're wanting right now.
Yeah, she's definitely gonna be like, no, I'm gonna do that.
I feel like she might like think once about it and she'd be like, well, fucking
No. She's being very level-headed and clear-headed the past couple episodes. Like even Kim and Will were shocked. They were like, what? You're not gonna go crazy and go after your uncle in the mines? Wow, you're being so level-headed.
Saving it for
Something's
this.
gonna happen. Something's gonna happen to trigger because she gets very emotional.
What if Kieran is kidnapped and taken to the Phantom Scythe headquarters and she goes to rescue him or something?
That theory's been floating around for a while.
Okay, well, now's the time.
I want a rescue plot with either one of them so bad.
I love a
Either
good
one.
heroine rescue, heroine saving the male lead.
That would be
Yes.
good.
That was always
But oh, I've had that theory for a long time now that Kieran was going to be like the major chess piece in the parlay.
uh-huh.
Like basically that he would be that the PS would actually hand him over to the royals.
Oh no.
So I was like, well, that's where I thought maybe Lauren would go and save him, but he wouldn't be in the underworld at that point. He would be like held in the royal court and she would have to like infiltrate it. Maybe with Dakan's help. I don't know.
That's a good
I don't
one.
think it'll go
That
that
would be so
direction,
dramatic. Wow, that would be horrible and amazing. Yeah, we have 3 minutes. All right. So he puts his hand on his shoulders and he's very sweet. And he says, I beg you to lie low. Oh, I said that right. The castle can offer you protection. And she says, I can't hide now. There's still work that needs to be done. Of course, workaholic Lauren. And she's like, besides, you know, I hate the castle.
She's a little wink god.
Winky face. Oh my god, so cute.
Yes. she's
I
like-
wonder if there's any story behind just her not liking the castle, either because of like maybe like because we find out later like stuff like how her dad kind of rejected like the nobility's like way of life to kind of pursue his own career in law, and Tristan followed his suit. I wonder if there's anything there like with her parents being like, oh, the aristocracy, no.
I think that's part of it. And I just don't think Lauren I don't think she cares about just the fancy rules and etiquette of the
Yeah.
She was allowed to kind of like live freely.
Yeah,
and,
like
there's a reason
for
why.
growing up so, kind of wealthy and privileged, like she's not, it doesn't seem like she's really into the whole
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
like, societal scene.
Yeah. And she's, doesn't like the rules, probably, period.
No, plus everybody in the castle's an asshole except for Dakan, so.
And
And
Nero.
the prince.
And Era.
And the prince, baby
Mhm.
prince. He doesn't count. He's a child. He is precious. We protect him at all costs.
Oh, sweetie.
We.
So Dakan continues and he says, I trust you. You have proven yourself most capable, brave, and resourceful to help us. For the love of God. And she's like, I'll be careful. I promise, Dakan. Yeah, I do agree, Lily. I do think she is intending to keep her promise, but something will happen.
It is Lauren Sinclair.
This is just the setup. This is just the like, everything's gonna be okay. Newsflash, everything was not going to be okay.
I have a question. There's been the theory floating around about like, what if people in the Phantom Scythe, the higher ups, are like, let's say Dakan or Tristan, or anybody who's connected to Lauren, and they're intentionally protecting Lauren from a lot of these things.
Yes.
I know when he was like, stay out of trouble and whatever, I kept thinking about what if someone is on the inside making sure that no trouble comes her way, or at least doesn't order trouble to come her way, and like, things just happen. I don't know, I've been thinking about that recently, especially after this episode. I was like, I wonder if there's any like merit to that theory. But yeah, for now it is just
definitely watching out for her. It's just a matter of who.
Mhm.
It's Dakan,
Yeah.
it's Tristan, or it's Hermann, or it's March. And
not Stefan. Stefan is like not even
definitely not Stefan.
Seven don't like her. He spits on the
Seven
floor.
hates her guts. No, but I mean, we could talk more with the panels coming out with March, but I'm just like, this is confusing the shit out of me.
I
because
know.
March.
I have words about
Oh.
that. It's
Yeah.
like the vibes. I love that. That is probably my favorite part of the entire episode, just because of how much meat there is to like
Yes.
dissect into.
So much meat, and then they just throw the 𝗏𝗏𝗡 breadcrumbs at the end, so your brain explodes, and then you don't think about any of the theories. You're just like, and I know they do this on purpose, so we stop analyzing the theories. I know they do this. This is like a webtoon, like formula. I swear they're like, meet, theory, romance breadcrumbs, and then you don't think about the rest of the episode. You're just like, oh my god, they look so cute. They're touching.
Like when Kim got poisoned, there's so much that went on in that episode.
Yes,
that everybody was just talking
exactly. It
about
was just like
that.
theory. Kim almost died. You're like, yeah, exactly.
Distraction.
It
Keep
is
you like on your toes for longer. And now, speaking of breadcrumbs, oh my gosh, the cutest thing. I'm getting kisses on the forehead.
I want him to be good so bad. I want him to be
I like half of me went, oh, and the other half went,
What? What the?
There's no nefarious purposes. He cares about her. I maintain that.
Amen.
I'm just
I
like
believe it.
betrayer.
No.
There's one betrayer I see, and his name is a month. I swear, it is March. It is.
I don't know.
Not.
I'm getting red herring vibes from March now, but we'll talk
That's
about
the thing. That's the thing.
Oh, red herring. Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah, I also very thrown off by that
obvious.
episode.
It's too obvious. Well, we'll get to those panels, but it's just like they're laying it on thick.
By the way, I guess I noticed in this next panel, but like one thing I noticed in this whole episode, the characters look a little different. I almost felt like it was drawn by someone else. Did you feel that way?
Some of the panels, yeah. I feel like, especially Lauren in some of these panels, looks different.
Oh, yeah, the one where
Like,
she's like
sometimes-
besides.
Hmm.
When she's like besides, I hit the castle. Her face looks a lot more round, but I don't know if that's just because time just needed to get it done. Also, it's not really an important panel. It's like that's the thing.
Well, I know that Soph has her assistant do some panels a lot of times when she's like on a time crunch, or they're not as like major panels. I don't know. So it could be her assistant.
Yeah, like this next panel looks.
I really love the way Dakan looks in this one.
He's a handsome man.
I love dark hair, man. What can I say?
Yeah, I'm just like into this coat with this like red waistband cummerbund situation.
Looking sharp.
Yep.
For sure.
And yeah, he's looking at the briefcase that Lauren bought, and he says, there is indeed still work to be done. But I'm sure the king will be most appreciative of the gift you brought us. Yeah. I don't know what's gonna happen with that. I'm curious to see how that goes down. Like, are they just gonna like drag right
Oh,
through
I don't know. I'm just nothing is never what it seems. So now I'm just sus of him.
For all we know, the king and the 𝗏𝗏𝗃 are lovers, and like, he won't do anything against
Oh my
them.
god. That would be wild, wouldn't it? Damn. No wonder Elizabeth is so salty all the time.
Okay, Lily, was it that funny? Wow, I'm so glad I made you laugh. Wow.
Wide open. Anyway, sorry, that was really funny.
I know, I'm reading a book where like everyone is in love with everyone. It's a little bit like too much. So at this point, I'm just like mixing up all the pairs.
You're like
all the
everybody's in
pairings.
love with everybody.
Yes, basically.
What book is this?
Chain of Gold. It's part of the Shadowhunters series.
Oh, I know Chain of Gold. That's
Yeah.
what is that again?
Sandra Clare.
Yeah, my
That's
friend
along with
was really
Cordelia,
into
James,
those.
William. Not William. That's the dad.
Will.
Yes.
William Herondale. I do not have heard about this man, and I've never met him in my entire life.
Oh,
but I'm
yeah,
supposed to
he's-
be, like in love with him.
I
He's
read the first couple when they came out a
Hmm.
bajillion years ago.
Yeah, so I read.
Did she have a
Oh,
side
what?
series? Was that Clockwork
Infernal Devices. I've
There's a
heard
lot
about
of
this so
series.
much.
Yeah. I read I don't know if that was the name of the series or just the first book in that series, but I think it was Clockwork.
Mhm.
Prince.
Yeah, that's the.
Infernal Devices.
Yeah, those were good. I really liked
Oh, yeah.
those.
Mhm.
Because I love a good love triangle. I know everybody hates them, but I love a good love triangle.
No,
That
no,
one's apparently
like-
good from what I've heard.
That's my favorite out of all her books. Like that.
I really liked that one. That one was really good.
Yeah. So anyway, yeah, it's just I really can't even keep track of who's in love with who, because I really suspect everyone's in love with everyone. It's like a group of 5 friends at least,
And they're all in love with each other.
basically. Yeah, basically.
It was a lot. It's a lot. Of
She's very into like male friendships, like very dramatic male friendships. So I can't tell the difference when they like love each other or
They're like in
each
love
other.
or not. You're like, are you friends or is there something more?
Yeah, I know. I don't know. So, okay, Purple Hyacinth. Now we are in another location. for a second I thought it was the same location, but now I realize it's a different location. She's sitting at a desk and she is clearly nervous. She's sweating and she's tap, 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 like her foot is just going up and down, up and down.
Me,
So cute.
whenever I'm told to sit still because the ADD
Fix
works
it.
hard.
Can't
Yeah,
see.
no.
Yeah. Yes, I remember when I was I don't know if I have ADD, I don't think so, but when I was 6th grade, my teachers brought me to the school social worker because I kept like, what I do is to kick my feet and like all that kind of stuff. And she's like, what's wrong? I'm like, nothing's wrong. I don't know what you're talking about. Like, what's your problem? Like, so yes, till today, I always like do something, you know, kick my legs, turn it
That's
off,
hard.
turn my rings, click my pen, something.
Mhm.
All right. So, but Lauren is doing that because she is apparently nervous. And Marsh comes in behind her and he says, good morning, Lauren. And she says, hi, Marsh, how are you doing? He says, quite all right. My injury from yesterday wasn't deep. Okay. So he did get a little bit injured.
A little bit.
I was like, when did he get injured? I was so confused
I thought
about
the
that.
same thing too. I was like, did the bullet graze him? And we just didn't like hear about that?
I guess that's what I'm thinking. What else would it be?
Hmm.
Because I don't think he got injured in the like scuffle.
Scuffle?
I don't know.
Oh, maybe he did, and that's why Will and Lauren have to. Well, wasn't it? Will has to go. I need to reread that episode. I read it like twice, honestly. So I'd probably need to look back. But I was like, ah, he got injured. I see.
Hmm.
Same. I probably didn't emphasize it enough. But
Hmm.
you're like, forgive my bluntness, but you look quite terrible. She like didn't really sleep at all last night, to be honest. Oh, I didn't either. Trust me. I think that what happened yesterday kept everyone awake. Everything happened so fast. It's insane. He says, your work's been impressive, Lauren. You should be proud of yourself. Okay, true. All true so far.
True.
And he's looking at her and he's like, oh, and he sees her tapping her leg. He's like, you seem very nervous. And she's like, yeah, well, being summoned to Herman's office is never good news for me. Aw, poor girl.
Herman's office like traumatizing her. God,
Like going to the principal's office. It's never good news.
no.
You know what I also think is different that's throwing me off is the lighting. I think there's like it's very bleached. There's a ton of sunlight in this like
Mhm.
episode.
Like it looks like it's midday.
Yeah, well,
They say it's
it's
early morning. Yeah.
Mm. Yeah, he says, I wouldn't be too worried if I were you. You've solved the case, it's made several victims, found the devils, the APD and NSA has finally made progress. Okay, all true. And now the lies begin.
The red.
He says, it's amazing news really for everyone. Okay, I think anyone should be able to say that though. I mean, like, literally everyone on 𝗏𝗏𝗃 knows that it's not amazing news for the PS. So like,
Yeah.
that doesn't
Yeah, I know.
mean-
So
That one I was like, okay, that's kind of like not
there
everyone's
are
gonna be
obviously
happy.
people not excited about the hideout being found, clearly. But
Yeah, obviously.
the fact that it's in red. Okay, fine. And then next, Herman should be grateful, if only for the protests. Blair's conviction will help the calm. Haha. Okay, I was like, what? Are we casting shadow on Herman now? Is that what it is? I can't.
I this one's confusing to me. I keep reading it, and I think because it's
The
weird.
phrasing is kind of strange.
The wording is weird.
Okay, so
Yeah, I've been
Herman
noticing that.
shouldn't
Some
be
of the wording
grateful?
is a bit off.
Yeah, and I don't know if that's on purpose or just sometimes no shade to 𝗪𝗵, but sometimes the wording is just kind of weird.
I feel like they like editors need to kind of come in and like refine it with them because yeah, some of the wording is like what?
Really
Like,
awkward. It's
Herman
really
should be
awkward.
grateful if only for the protest. Blair's conviction will help to calm.
Haha.
Like it's basically like saying Blair's conviction will help calm protests. I'm pretty sure that's what it is.
right.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
we assume I think we can assume that part is true, right? That's just like a fact. And then when
Herman-
the lie is that Herman shouldn't be grateful, is
Herman-
the lie that
If only
Herman
for-
won't be
Or
grateful?
maybe he
Because
knows that they
yes.
won't calm it. Like
Yeah,
maybe
is he
doesn't
taught?
think
Is
that
the
it'll
lie
calm it.
about Herman or is it about the
Protest causing
protest calming?
being calmed down. Huh.
But that's what I think also it's purposefully vague because Lauren doesn't really know how to interpret it either. And I
Mm.
think that's the point. Like there's so many things there's so many factors in it that we can't decipher it and therefore Lauren can't either.
Mm.
Like
Yeah, and
Because
she
she-
mentions that it's big.
And I think he's being purposefully, like, because obviously he, at some point, he can't be vague about everything. So I think he's purposefully throwing in this kind of convoluted language to throw her off, knowing that he is lying.
But this is under the assumption that he knows about her.
Right.
I've been going off that assumption just because he knew her as a child, and I feel like for him to have not said any lies in this entire time to her kind of implies to me that he's been purposefully avoiding lying in front of her.
I don't know. Maybe he just didn't lie. Like he had nothing to lie about.
But maybe, I mean, she was a kid though. Like, how many times was she going to be in the presence of adults where they talked about stuff that they needed, like serious stuff that they needed to, like she was playing outside with Dylan. Like she wasn't.
I mean, who knows? What if her parents were like, "Oh my God, look at our kid. She could like, look at this cool trick she could do. She could always tell when you lie." Like, and then it's like a positive trick. I don't know.
I assume her parents.
Do we know that her parents believed her though? Like, do we know?
I don't know. I've always believed personally that it is, but like thinking about it now, I realize there's nothing in canon that really supports that.
Yeah,
so
I was about to say, I don't know if we don't know in canon that her parents knew about her ability, or if they just thought it was like some kid stuff, you know, like kids say, oh, they say anything. And
right. Also, if they did believe it was genuine, I don't know if they would advertise that, because if it's true, it's a real skill and it could be used against people, especially if they were like maybe in the Snapdragon.
Well, I mean, they were in the Phantom Scythe, so if they did know about her ability, they would be especially careful with who they brought around.
Yeah.
True. Could have been before Snapdragon though, because didn't Snapdragon come about like, what is it, like 115 or something? Like it was a few years before they dissolved, but it wasn't like decades or anything. Would have to look back at that, but yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm still confused as to whether March knows or not. I feel like I could go either way.
I guess, yeah, we'll get to that in a bit. But fine, his first sentence, okay, we're not really quite clear, but oh well, that's life. If anyone has any better theories, let us know. Okay, so she tenses up and she looks at him and she's like, she knows what to ask. She's like, yeah, you really think it's that amazing?
I love that she's like, time to interrogate.
I love it.
It's really funny. Yeah.
It's like, how do I keep the lies coming?
And now in the lie, he says, yes, of course. It's just that. Okay, so he doesn't really think it's amazing.
Yeah.
Fine. We got that. Okay. And then he says, truthfully, a battle was won, not the war. Okay, fine.
Okay, not a lie.
And now he says, in red, it is a huge point for the court for sure, which I suppose is a good thing. So what's the lie? Is it the lie that it's not a huge point for the court, or that it's not a good thing?
It is a huge point for the court to have that stockpile of
I
weapons.
think the lie is that it's a good thing, which I suppose is a good thing.
So he just doesn't think it's a good thing.
Because he's not on the side of the court. So it's not a good thing.
Right.
And objectively, like getting such a huge bust with like the stockpile of weapons that they have, I feel like that is a major thing. Everybody's been saying it's a major thing. It is a major thing. Okay. So the only other alternative is that he doesn't think it's a good thing.
So I guess technically that first line should not be in red.
Right.
I think they purposely put the whole thing just to, I don't know, make it harder. Like maybe it's like per sentence. Like what is the lie in the sentence? Or like if there's one line in the sentence, the whole sentence sounds fake. But I don't know. We're getting technical.
Yeah, I think I agree, but I don't think they're that careful. And listen, I guess they like to talk to us once more. And he continues, in truth, but one would still worry about phantoms themselves or the new partisans they rally to their cause every day. And
that's not a lie.
Right. Yeah, he doesn't say, he just says one would still worry, which is like a way of getting out of
it. Yeah, that's where that wording goes. Yeah, one would still worry. Okay.
Sneaky. And Lauren's like, right. The tension, and she's giving him a look. She says the tension's been rising in the city exponentially since Green's death. And then March says, blaming them for a crime they didn't commit this time. Quite ironic, isn't it? So I guess they blamed the city blamed the royals for Green's death, right? Because she was obviously anti-royal. So they were worried that, they suspected them of killing her because of that. And he's like, well, they didn't do it this time. So I was going to say, how does March know that it wasn't the royals? But like, whatever, I guess they literally discovered it. So
Well, I guess with the discovery of Blair, they know her.
Right.
Yeah, like they know it was Phantom Scythe murder.
I mean, they literally saw a messenger choking Blair out. Like,
Mhm.
they know.
So, your boy Raphael.
Yeah. And she's like, what do you mean? She's like straight asking him.
Straight up interrogating.
Yeah.
I'm like, March, you know her tricks. You've been a detective like twice as long as Lauren's been alive. Like, you know.
That's my thing. I'm wondering what if he knows what he's doing right now.
That's what I
must. You must. Yes.
That's what I think he's doing this on purpose. Wait, somebody was saying in the Discord, I forgot who it was. They had a really good premise that it was like long. They wrote out about how they thought March was doing this on purpose, as basically he's been low-key trying to recruit Lauren to his side.
Yeah, I saw that as well. Yeah.
Dude, like basically let's make her understanding of our causes, and we can use her ability and use her because she's a great detective with her ability or not. She'd be a great addition to the PS.
Also,
And if he knows about
sorry, you go ahead.
if he knows about her, collaborating with Kieran, he's like, well, she's already on the dark side basically already.
Already dating our lead assassin. So like she's already a part of the PS family.
Does he know about that though? Do people know about that? That's what I wonder.
That's another thing. I don't know. I feel like it could go either way. I feel like if he's in the PS, he has to know about.
Because I feel like Lauren and his association isn't really known yet. Otherwise, we would have heard from Redcliffe already blackmailing. Because remember, he sent Raphael to like get dirt on the Phantom, on the.
Who was it? Was it which apostle was it that was talking to the leader in that one episode and was complaining about Kieran? He said
four. He said,
oh, he's been lazing around that police station for weeks, not doing anything. But was that 4?
I feel like 4 is his main apostle because he mainly talks to Messenger 4. So I think it was also isn't 4 the one involved with like torture and stuff? Or was that someone else?
Assassinations and espionage. So he's the one in charge of.
He's the one who had him beaten.
I think, right?
I think he was the one who had him beaten toward the end of season 2.
Yes.
So yeah,
but I was like, if that's March who was talking to the leader about that, it would make sense because he's been seeing Kieran around the police station. But so is Herman.
No, I don't.
Herman still likes him. I think that's the funniest thing ever. That he's like, oh, you're such a
Herman low-key has the biggest crush on Kieran ever.
When Herman finds out that he's dating Lauren,
I don't think I'm straight. What?
When Herman finds out he's dating Lauren, he's just gonna be like
jealous.
He's like, I already hate this girl, and now he has my dream man.
You could have been my son, and now you're dating the devil. Like. I'm trying to remember. I had another point I wanted to say, but I forgot. Like with like her and then talking about that. I forget. Some of it's March. It might come to me later, but yeah. Damn you, ADD brain.
Funny. Yeah, so now he says, truthfully, I'm sure you know no royal family is clean, especially not ours. The king's late father, the least. And she's like, ooh. But he's totally like dropping stuff now for her, which is why, this is
why I think it's on purpose. It's breadcrumb.
Yeah, she's butt dumping, and she's like, you know about the Snapdragon? And then she thinks to herself, could he be? Right? Because she's like suspicious.
I'm just glad the wheels are turning finally. God.
Yeah, I know, right? Because
we just talk about.
I think this is what
Kieran last episode. Lauren was like, "No, Kieran, I've known March my whole life. He is not suspicious at all.
He planted the seed, so yeah." And he says, "Of course," and she's like, she just gives him a face.
Like,
please explain.
What?
Come again?
And he says, "I've been in the police a long time, Lauren. Snapdragon mysteriously disappeared one day. Not so mysteriously, if you ask me and many others." A little smile. And he says the court and NSA made sure to manipulate the public's perception, and after painting them as charlatans, to bury the memory of them. Not everyone forgets, nor should they. I genuinely think that group wasn't in the wrong. Right? It's all true. Okay.
But he
This-
says
this is
that
all-
group. He doesn't say that he was a part of it, but that seems
Yeah.
purposeful. He's not like
He
including
didn't say
himself. in the sense-
our group. He said that group.
Yeah,
Mhm.
but yeah, it's like that laptop that I'm using. It's mine, but it's still a laptop. So
That group.
That woman.
Yeah, that.
Oh, I'm sorry. I think I'm quoting from Jane here. Yeah, so, and she's like, have you involved? Giving him some side
Just
eye.
goes for it.
And he says, he has this little grin on his face. It's like, involved in the Snapdragon? Haha. Well, I'm here today, aren't I?
swerve,
God.
man,
Most
is
invasive
just
thing ever.
swerving.
He's like swerved like that car that went for Dylan and Lauren. He just went, "What?"
Tokyo drift, like nope.
No, serious. Tokyo Drift.
The blatant avoiding answering the question tells me that he knows about her
has to know
ability.
about her ability.
Yes.
He could
I
just
don't-
say, he could have just, if he didn't know about her ability, he could have lied and said, no, of course I wasn't involved.
Well. Okay, if he's trying to get her, okay, no, I'm trying to make this make sense.
He knows about
Never
her
mind.
ability and he's trying to recruit her. Hence
Okay, but
the breadcrumbs
planting
and
seeds.
the weird wording.
okay, so he could be trying to recruit her and not know about her ability and just being evasive, period, to kind of let her choose, basically based on what she thinks to see if she's going to follow him. Like if she's pro Snapdragon, pro PS, then,
I mean,
she
I
might
guess
go
that's true.
along.
Like he knows that she's a super good detective and he could just be wording things this way just based off of that and not knowing that she has this like supernatural ability.
Meaning like
I feel
if he doesn't know where she stands, right? If he wants to like give her
Mhm.
the opportunity, if she's into it and like,
Because he knows that she's Loon.
Mhm,
Oh yeah, he did kind of imply that he knew she was blue back in when
right.
he was lying the
Oh,
last
definitely.
time.
Yeah, no, he suspects of her being Loon. But why is he trying to recruit her if he knows that Loon
That
is
leads
anti-
in to the whole
And-
thing where they're trying to
Loon
protect
is-
her.
because Loon is anti-PS, so
But maybe he thinks that once he convinces her that the PS is right, that she'll join them.
Or someone else is trying to like get her in on it to like get her under the influence, not only for their benefit for her ability, but also to protect her. I don't know why. That is just a concept that's been in my brain, but I don't know. I feel like she could have been like assassinated however many ago, for however many reasons. Like she could have been for Tim's sake, she could have been taken out for that, right? Like why not? And then Tim was gonna do it himself, even though he didn't have orders. And Bella's been threatening it, but she won't because she and Kieran have that pact. But like, what is going on? I mean,
I think Bella was ordered to protect Lauren from Scythe.
Mm.
I think that's why she off Scythe.
Oh wow.
I just felt she wanted to murder him because we all wanted to murder him.
I don't know,
So,
that's a suspicion I've had for a while, is that
that would be cool though.
like if it came full circle and it turns out that the orders like came from so high up that she had to off Scythe because of that. I don't know, but I guess we'll see.
Wow. Yeah, this is tough. All right. And he continues, truthfully, I'd support them if they were still around. Okay, all true. He's saying truthfully, and he actually is true.
Mm-hmm.
A pacifist group simply trying to bring out the truth. It ... saddens me. Their momentum faded so quickly. Okay, what does that mean?
That
He is
I
sad.
think that I saw someone talk about this in the Discord as well. Again, I don't remember who, but it was kind of talking about how it almost sounds like if he could be the leader potentially, and one of the reasons why this could prove it is because the leader never really wanted to go this far, like was involved with the pacifist stuff, but then the stuff in the print shop sort of changed the entire momentum, killed off however many of their members and stuff. So they kind of were forced to take drastic measures. And, like, blew up the
if
thing.
we're
So
Mhm.
yeah, so I think that he's kind of like if he were the leader potentially, or someone as high as an apostle potentially, he at his core knows that it's wrong and wishes that they didn't have to come to this and that they could have stuck with their pacifist like social movement, but then the royals, who we already see he's like not a fan of really, or at least points out their flaws, he sort of they were like forced to adapt to that attack from them and to make themselves be heard, but he wishes that they could have stuck with their original ideals and stuff. And I just think it's really sad to see that, you know, he's sad about it. Like, again, he's a human, but if he's involved, he's been involved with these atrocities that are unforgivable. And I don't know, just like the way that you can see a social movement sort of deteriorate into terrorism, right? You start with the purest of ideals, but then you become more desperate to get your point heard, and it leads to stuff like this. And I feel like it's refreshing. I like seeing that they're not just like, we want to kill people, because we've all had the idea that
it's the greatest, right?
Good, or like not good, but like, you know, he's all about the cause, and at this point he's at like means whatever means to the end, but he still holds the ideals of the cause, whether or not his followers do is another thing. But yeah, so sorry, you can continue. I'm done.
No, I agree with all of that. Now I'm totally blanking on what I was going to say. I'm like, it was something along those lines, but no, I agree with all of that. But it's just him at the moment. I feel like half of me's like, he's a red herring right now, and the other half of me still thinks that he's very high in the running to be the leader because he has so much motive. Like, if we're still going with the theory that Annabelle was murdered in the print shop, that right there. Plus, we know that his daughter died from an illness that sounds like maybe could have been prevented with better care. So if they're really, you know, like maybe she was in one of the hospitals on the South Shore and didn't get the care that she could have gotten to survive. Like, he's got so much motive as far as like personal and political.
And also by association with Lauren's parents. We've seen him and his wife in pictures with them. Like, it all kind of comes together. He knew them. He spent a lot of time with them. He knew them personally outside of a professional relationship. So, but then they would have both been exposed to all of the injustice in the city and stuff, you know? So you could see how they would become like-minded, and it makes sense. But I do understand the whole thing of it being a red herring because it feels too easy. I'm of the thinking that I would love if they could think of some sort of twist in all of this, but I'm also one for like, I don't like if they're building up to something and then they give you a twist for the sake of a twist and it's not satisfying, a la Game of Thrones season 8. Like, don't change things that we were not building up to. We've been building up to this whole time. Give us the payoff for the build-up. Like, but also, if they can find a way to make it satisfying where it's not him, I'd still be down. But I just don't know, you know? Like,
I don't know. Like, he has the most motive, unless it's, I mean, like, we still know very little about Herman. I feel like it's not Herman, but we still know so little about him personally. I'm like, yeah, I mean, like, it could be, I don't know, we don't know anything about him. We know he still has this weird grudge against Lauren's parents that like still doesn't really kind of make sense.
It sounds like he was like bullied by them in high school or something, you know?
Yeah, I posted this in the Discord, but I'm like, what is up with Lauren's parents? Nobody liked these people.
Yeah, but all the people who didn't like them are assholes, so it's like good.
Is it? I mean, like them. I don't know.
I mean, obviously they got involved in some shady stuff, but they were killed at the beginning, so they couldn't have been that bad. Like, kind of just trapped in a situation.
Did we ever talk about the possibility of them being the ones that outed the Snapdragon?
Oh, wow.
I've thought of that, honestly, just personally.
Well, that's why everybody could hate them.
True.
They were like the rule followers that were like, yeah, we don't feel this is not, you know, we're gonna report this to the royals,
but like then demand all that money, and then but then also they have a lot of money, so in a way them demanding a bunch of money, well, why would we demand money?
There was a good theory in the Discord that it was March who was demanding the money for treatment for his daughter.
Yeah, that makes
sense.
Did
his daughter die around that time too? I don't know if we ever saw the year that his daughter died on her gravestone.
Forgot.
But I think Annabelle's Zone was obscured. I don't think we got Annabelle's Zone.
We actually did get a date, but I don't know
the year
if the timeline matches up. But he did say that his daughter would have been Lauren's age, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
He does, or around. He said around more.
Didn't he say she died when she was like 5 or 6 or something? I don't know why. I'm gonna look that up now, but you guys can.
Yeah, maybe the timeline doesn't match up there, but it would be interesting though, because that again gives him motive if he's the one that ratted them out for the money for his daughter. Because I'm like, who needs money?
Again, it could just be a cover as well. For like, I lost money, make them think I'm poor, but I'm really rich. And again, red hair.
A really good
stuff.
point. That's a very good one.
Mm.
Yeah. So Lauren does that. She's like, and she thinks to herself, what the hell was that just now? He isn't lying, and I can't rule anything out from his answers. What the hell's going on with him? Yes, Lauren, we are wondering the same thing.
Equally confused.
And she says, so did my parents, it seems. I found a pamphlet of the Snapdragon among other things. Did you know? And he says, your parents always, he doesn't say yes or no, by the way. He says, your parents always had a strong sense of justice and what's right and what's wrong. Okay, good. It's true. Next, I've always looked up to them for that.
That's what I'm saying. Why does everybody hate Lauren's parents?
That's a lie. I don't know if he hates them. I think that at some point, right, if he's the leader, it ties him perfectly because he, first liked them and then he's like, well, get with the program. We're doing terrorism now. Why are you so stuck up on this like so killing innocent people thing?
What do you mean you don't want to make bombs and blow people up? What?
Get on board.
So yeah, that would fit in if he's the leader. So I don't know. How else can we explain it? I'm trying to think. How else can we explain it? I mean, I don't know.
So at the funeral, Lauren heard Stefan say, didn't he say something similar?
There was never a disagreement we couldn't get resolve or something like that.
So if Stefan is A4 and Marge is the leader.
I'm still on the fence about him being an apostle, like, I don't know, man is so into the society. It's like
that is a cover because even Will said, like, how have they not been targeted? His father's head should be rolling across the floor like years ago. He's definitely up there.
Oh, yeah. All right. And he says, your father especially was never really in support of the monarchy, despite his noble upbringing. All true. Alexander strayed from his family to pursue law against his father's wishes. And a few years later, he was followed by Tristan, joining the police. Oh, so cute.
I like the tidbits of like family history we're getting, and I feel like it informs as well her parents' characters and Tristan's character as well. Because we already knew that they were like high up, but I don't think we ever knew that if they were like nobility, the Sinclairs. Now we have confirmation that they were, but both Alexander and Tristan kind of decided to go into
the black
service, public service, basically, police officer and a lawyer, right? Like very involved in like social, like the society and like law and justice and all that. Interesting to know. I wonder if that's going to come up later, any more of the whole class dynamics that they've been building up. I like how this episode has been emphasizing a lot of the class struggles as well, but like more subtly than, Kieran giving her a lecture in the South Shore, right? Like, I feel like this is like a nice way to kind of remind us again or add more color to it.
It's a lot of breadcrumbs, yes.
Yeah. Add more flavor to the world.
Yeah, I like it. And she smiles. She's like, that's what Tristan told me too, to rebellious brothers. And now she thinks herself, but knowing, and I love how it transitions to like black and white, because she's like experiencing a very emotional moment. It's like a big deal for her because she has to, I think of March in like a less than perfect positive light. And she's just shocked. So like every time she's in her thoughts, it goes to like black and white, like somber, the background. And she thinks, but knowing about the Snapdragon doesn't mean anything, does it? Though I don't know about his criticism towards the royals. And so now she's like pushing him, right? She's like, let me find out what he thinks.
Yeah, she's pushing the buttons.
She's trying to get his trust as well, I think. And I think this is part of her trying to be like, see, I think like you. What more can we discuss as like-minded individuals?
Yeah, she's throwing out a couple breadcrumbs too to see if he responds in kind.
Very, 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 this game that they're playing. And she says, sometimes I wonder if what we do is wrong. If we are in fact protecting the interests of the people, who would otherwise be held behind bars were they not bearing a crown on their heads, which is a very good point in general, by the way. I really.
Yeah.
Green's case needed justice. The real culprit had to be found, but the protests outside are nonetheless valid. March is paying very close attention. We have a close-up of him. Just like some of the Phantom Scythe's claims aren't lacking foundation. What do you think? And March is like looking very thoughtful. He's looking very open. And he's like, and we're so excited. Hear what he's gonna say.
Fucking March!
Hermann.
Cock blocker of the year, right here.
We could have gotten so much more. She was baiting that man so perfectly. He looked like he was about to spill so much more tea, and then Killjoy Hermann has to roll up with his severe expression and his lack of Lauren appreciation.
No, he's been dreading this. He's been dreading this moment. He's like, I have to give her ring back. This is bullshit. This is the worst thing ever.
It's like when you see someone you hate, but they like do well, and you're just like, oh. How dare she work hard, save countless lives, and prove that she is in fact worthy of her rank again. Ugh.
Yeah, basically. So comes in and yeah. He's like, good morning, Detective March, Officer Sinclair. Okay, fine. Probably less cheerful than how I said it. Thank you for coming this early. Okay, wow, I have to say, good for you for being polite. He says, under normal circumstances, this would have been a formal announcement. However, Lord Reinstated himself has asked me to keep it low, which I'm assuming is for her safety, right? Which
Yeah,
she
yeah,
just
that's
said.
what it's for her safety.
Like, they had all this big bus, and all of a sudden, out of nowhere, this random officer gets promoted. Like, yeah, no.
Interesting.
He says, I will be brief, as I'm sure we're all tired. Officer Sinclair, I would like to formally express my gratitude, she's gulping meanwhile, and respect for your most outstanding work in helping Detective March. Ooh.
Not a lie.
Not a lie.
Yes.
I mean, objectively, she crushed it, and she made the.
He has to
police look so
admit it.
good.
He has to admit she freaking crushed it.
I mean, we could say if he's formally expressing his gratitude, so he's doing his job as the chief officer. But I happen to think that Hermann, so far, if he's not sus, if he is what he says he is, he's a straight shooter, right? He might have a little bit of personal grudges, but like, I think that he is like, you know,
As far as we know.
Right.
Yeah.
Unless
Lauren's doing the
we're
job.
totally off.
Yeah, she's getting it done. She's made the police department look really good. She hasn't messed up since then. He might have his suspicions, but he has to acknowledge when good work is done.
Right.
Yeah.
But the next
Like
thing
the
he
person
says,
at your work that like everybody hates, but they do the job really well.
Mhm.
They keep getting promoted, and you're like, but nobody likes you, but you're good at your jobs.
You're an asset to the company.
Yeah, exactly.
so this next line I'm a little confused by. He says, in a lie, over the last year, you have demonstrated excellent discipline and behavior.
That's because he knows she's Loon.
Yeah, he's sus she's Loon.
But he wasn't sure. I don't know.
But he
Like,
thinks
he
it.
has
Like he
suspicions that-
personally,
He said he
believes
believed it. He didn't like the car accident sealed the deal. The car accident, air quotes. He's like, you're Loon. Come on. I wasn't born yesterday.
I thought
I'm glad
thought
they
it
make
was
him
this-
competent at least. He's not just like curmudgeonly.
You know, that
bitter
makes
man.
sense. I thought he was just being like, oh, like Laura, you're too frivolous. You like run around the hallway or like come later or something. You know, I thought it was something like that. But
And I
Yeah.
read it as he was talking about her actions as him believing she was Loon.
Yeah.
that makes more sense. Interesting. Very interesting. Well, you see, he is so like rigid about the rules. He's like, this is terrible discipline and behavior. How dare you? Because it's like not the right thing to do. It's not in the code book.
I mean, the snake situation did happen a year ago, right? So I think
Over a year at this point, because it was a year at the beginning of the comic, I think, and that was in November, and we are now in February, I believe.
Yeah. That worked. Over a
Wow,
year.
4 months and how many years for us?
3.
So many.
Oh my
For
God,
me, it's been 3 years.
so sad.
So many years.
And it's probably like another year and a half until it's over, which I'm like, I don't want it to end, but also
I don't want it to end either.
I like getting the story.
Forever.
Mm-hmm.
I know. Well, maybe she'll make like more stories about their babies or something.
Yeah, give the fan service on Patreon. Yeah, she's not gonna do like the sexy stuff like other webtoon creator does. Give us the endings. Give us the happy ending stories after.
Very cute.
It sells. One of my favorite authors did that. I bought that faster than like anything. I was like, it's on the eShop. Boom, Kindle, read it in like a second. Amazing.
Yep. He says, reflected upon your mistakes and improved upon your shortcomings. It's like, well, yeah, shortcomings, Lauren, but you did better.
I love how that part is like, yeah, you've been behaving, you've been doing things that are inappropriate, but you've reflected and improved. Like,
it's so funny.
It's like she was on a personal improvement plan, and it's like you passed, and you are now no longer on the PIP. So get your rank back.
So cute. Your most recent contribution attests to your outstanding skills for investigation. I mean, yeah, all true. Massive
I'm
compliment.
so surprised.
And yeah, she is like, ooh. And as of today, I will end your probationary demotion and restore your function as detective. Oh,
She's so shocked. It's so cute.
She's shocked.
She's
Speechless.
shook.
We never see her speechless like this. I love it. I don't think I can remember the last time she's ever
It's from not
speechless.
something bad. Usually she's shook from something really bad going on.
And last time I've seen her this shook was when Sandman like tied her up, but also she was gagged, so we couldn't hear her speak. So she's
Yeah,
just
like your parents are apostle.
To me, by the way, like this moment is like a rare PH moment of like closure, positive closure of something like good happening that is like really, really good. You know, because a big thing for Lauren was like, I'm not a detective, I'm devoted. And now she has her rank back. And that is like massive. Like it's way more, it's like a positive accomplishment, genuinely like a good ending, you know, within the story still going on. But it's like, I was like, wow, this is
It's
good.
nice for that to come full circle. You know, it's nice to get that little, like it's a little win. You know,
we got some closure for something that was set up way early. It's now come full circle, like you said, and it's just wow. Things are coming. Things are all coming together.
I mean, episode one, where there's the murder and she's pointing out details, and they're like, "You're what was it, Herman? You're not a detective anymore, Lauren." Whatever. You literally get the breadcrumbs of that episode one, and now here we are.
I love how like there's like stars literally behind her. It's not really stars, it's dust.
The dust.
It's like everything in her life is like, it's like she's starry-eyed, you know, she's like so excited about it.
The sparkles are always there with our Locky moments. The good Locky moments. Those are the Locky sparkles.
Oh,
the Kiwi, the ship sparkles, we should say.
The ship sparkles.
Kiwi gets them too.
And he slides the badge across the desk and says, "Your badge, Detective Sinclair. Congratulations." And oh my God, she's so shocked. She's just looking at it. She can't even move. Oh, I'm so happy for her. I'm like,
so happy.
I know she doesn't exist, but I'm so happy for her.
My girl, she's doing so well.
Crushing it.
And he says, but you will still act as part of the patrol unit for now, and you're not going to be patrolling because you're supposed to lay low. Okay. You'll return to full function as detective when the situation clears up, which makes perfect sense.
And she's still stunned. Oh.
I know. Hasn't moved, hasn't said a word. And Marsha's like, good work, Detective Sinclair. Welcome back to the team. Oh, so cute. Now she finally has a perfect, like, little proud smile. She gets up and she's like, thank you, Captain Herman. Salute. So cute.
So cute. Oh my God. Oh my God. Never had Lucky.
Now we're getting the dessert, y'all.
Now we're getting the dessert.
The cherry on top. The reward.
Ugh.
Good food.
Yum. Delicious ice cream. Okay, so she is going down the hallway and she's humming.
Homegirl is humming. I said this in the Discord. I was like, one of the main four was gonna die before we saw Lauren humming. Did you ever think we'd see this girl humming? No. I thought Lucky was gonna kiss before we saw.
Oh my God,
I didn't think humming was ever gonna occur.
What?
Yeah. What?
I knew 𝗏𝗏𝗡𝗃 was going to be canon at some point, but I never thought her humming was going to be canon. I never thought this was going to be possible.
Yes, I know, right? This is like a very happy ending for an
Mm.
episode.
I
And
love
she-
how she's also in a different outfit too. Like she looks like she's
Mhm.
changed. She's not in the police uniform anymore. She's in like this.
It's
That
a
looks like-
dress.
Is it a dress?
Yes, it's a dress. If you well, further panels down, you'll see, but see how she's humming and it's kind of like you can see the bottom, it's like flowing around her. And then
I've
in the
scrolled-
later panel where Kieran is like pulling
Hugging her.
her
I
forward,
thought that was part of her coat, but I don't know.
it's a dress.
Well-
It's a skirt, or it's a skirt plus a vest or whatever.
Oh my god, look at our girl wearing anything other than pants. Amazing.
Wow. Yeah.
Yeah,
the
we haven't seen her in a
transformation.
dress since.
Since
What's
the
the one?
tango. No, since the New Year's
Um,
party. That was the last time.
Well, I think she wore a dress at the
The
both
New Year's
circus.
party also.
She has worn dresses at the circus. You right.
And the New Year's party also.
And the New Year's
Yeah,
party.
but that's a formal.
And the
dress.
tutu.
Right, and,
But no, she did wear a dress to the circus, I guess.
Yeah.
but no, it's Kieran's influence. You know the song, but you make me want to act like a girl, make my hair wear perfume.
Okay, Mindy, break it down.
Also, she's got like, I love the vest. I like that this is like a dress, but it's still her style. She's got like the blouse and the
Yes.
vest, and or maybe
It's-
that's like a pinafore type thing where it's like goes into a skirt. I have something like that. I really like wearing it.
I love it. I'm really into the PH style. I'm like, maybe I need some vests. Billowy sleeves in my life.
Mhm.
So the first place she goes to after she hears this news, she doesn't go tell Will, she doesn't tell Kim, she doesn't tell Lila and Lucas. No. She opens the door to the archive room. She's like, hey there.
I thought this was later in the day though, because it looks like it's completely
changed.
different lighting.
Fine.
It's like more
Damn it.
orange. It looks like it's sunset. It looks like she's
So
been
we
there all
can
day. She's changed. Yeah, that's what I assumed anyways. Like
Fine,
and
never
she-
mind. So-
I know, but I wish it was like she immediately went and told him in my heart. In my heart, she rushed over to tell him first.
I
I'm
know.
like,
Wait.
For their date. Hello.
he had a late shift. I bet he wasn't there in the morning. He works part-time, remember? He probably only came
Yeah.
Yeah,
back.
he only works the 4-hour shifts. So
Mhm.
what? Probably like 2 to 6 or something.
She wanted to save the best news for last so they could walk out together. That was clearly
And she
her.
had to put on her cute skirt.
Mhm.
mm,
So our darling boy is there. He's actually putting on his coat, it looks like. And he says, for somebody banned from the archives, you sure like to come here. What's up? And she's like, backs herself in his face with this massive smile. And she's like, someone who used to be banned. She's holding the badge up. Look at
The cutest thing I've ever seen in my life.
that.
she's so happy.
This is
incandescent.
genuine, pure joy. This is just,
It's like that's my girl.
that's our girl.
Look at her, so cute.
You know,
Flashing
trying to
his
imitate her.
cash.
Never seen Lauren so happy. Like,
Oh.
Well, even Soph said it was weird drawing her so happy.
yeah, in the stream, she was like, I've never drawn Lauren this happy. This feels weird.
She's like, it doesn't feel right.
It's hilarious. Oh, I love it. And he's like, a badge? And he looks at it and it says detective. And he's like, oh, a detective's badge.
I know. Sorry, this is unrelated. I read this as like a platypus. Carry the platypus because I'm a child still, and it's like a bet. I'm gonna make that meme later
Do
in the
it.
Discord. I'm gonna do that now. Well, like not now, but when we're done. But yeah, it's like a badge. Detective badge. He's so proud of her. God, and he's a big part of why she got it. He had helped get that ball rolling. And
Yes.
he calls her detective. Nobody else calls her detective but him.
loves
That's
her.
his. He's her subordinate, but she's his
Yes.
detective.
He's helped bolster her self-esteem.
Mhm.
And then get help like with Tim Sake case with Chow's wife, and he helped her get her out of jail and stuff. It's just
Oh,
like,
the two of them
get you.
destined. And they have this beautiful panel of her smiling, the sunlight on her face. She's ecstatic. She salutes. She says, yep, you're speaking to the newly appointed Detective Sinclair. Hermann decided it was time for, she knows all the words, outstanding skills for investigations to be put back to work after all. She heard it once. It's all she needed to memorize it.
Mhm.
It's like, that's fantastic. Congratulations, Lauren.
So happy. Like, it's like, It's genuine. No,
I thought he was for sure hugging her. I was like, he's headed for a hug. I was like, I really thought that's what he was saying.
I'm still slightly confused by these panels. Like,
Yeah,
was he going in for a hug and she just? I'm confused.
I know. I don't know. It just looks like he's hugging, but in the end, he was just patting her shoulder, which is, I shouldn't complain about that. But I really, really thought he was hugging her. I was like, oh my God, are they going to hug? They're going to hug.
Oh my God. We got to
Bundin.
for it.
You guys think he was
There's
going to hug her?
panels. I think there's panels missing.
You think?
Yes.
I'm okay with that. I can just.
I don't mind.
Unless we get some kind of flashback or she just took it out, because at least on stream.
I don't remember there being a hug on stream because I remember I was
No,
talking to
not
Emily
a hug, but remember, I can say this, right? I can talk about
I
stream.
mean, if it's past stream, so yeah.
Yeah. Remember, like, she was streaming and there were panels where like he it's that panel where he's like grabbing her arm and she looks down and then he looks all flustered and he's like looking away and he's like, oh, and he like coughs or whatever. And then she's like,
I don't know.
there was like very distinct panels where he looked embarrassed. Like he was like, oh shit. He had like the oh shit moment where he like pulled his hand away and like turned his head and there was like,
I need to, I know that there's a server that does like, they talk about the stream stuff.
Yes, I got added to that one recently.
Well, then check through there. Someone might know.
I'm gonna have to
I'm
go
not in
check
that.
the panels because I mean, because at the end of this episode, he's pulling her out of the archives and those panels were still distinctly in the archives, like with this lighting and the outfits. So I don't know if we're gonna get a flashback or if she cut those panels.
I don't know. I don't think that there was any sort of like, I don't remember either. So I don't know, Jen.
I'm gonna look for them and then I'll send them.
Okay.
If I find them.
Yeah. Still,
Oh,
he's so
it's
happy,
good.
and I'm so
Yeah.
happy.
Look at that. Look at that. Fine, fantastic, loving young man. So proud of his girl. Oh, I love it.
The girl who keeps insisting is his girlfriend. Like, boy, you're not subtle.
He's so proud of his girlfriend.
Oh, love it. So puts his hand on his shoulder and she's like, oh, which I'm like, why are you surprised, Lauren? Like, hello, have you not had your friends like show affection to you? Like, this is just normal.
Yeah, but it's
Well, that's why I swear there's more panels, because the sequencing of this is a little awkward. I thought this was a little awkward before I thought panels were missing.
Yeah.
Is it just me?
I think
there's not a transition here.
Yeah, it would be nice if there was like another transition panel, maybe with like her kind of like them looking at each other or something, or like just like maybe gesturing to like pull away, maybe. But it doesn't that jarring to me personally.
I don't know. I guess it's just a little jarring, like him, like she's looking at where his hand placement is, and I'm like, are you shocked? Like, you guys have been touching a lot lately, so I don't know why you think it's weird.
I'm looking at that panel of him again where he says that's fantastic, and I realize why I think his arms are extended, because his coat is a little thrown back. Like if it was, I mean, I know he just put it on, so maybe that's why, but like to me it just looks like he was throwing his arms back. And
also, she's still saluting, so like he probably would have put his hand on her shoulder after the that's fantastic, congratulations.
Oh. All right, so we talked about missing panels, and guess what? Ta-da! There were missing panels.
We knew it. We knew it. I mean,
you knew it.
Bundin and I watched stream,
skeptical.
so we knew. We were like, I was like, well, I think I was the first to notice, not to toot my own horn. I was like, this is really choppy. This seems like there's a gap here. I'm very confused. It seems like there's panels missing from the stream. But also I was thinking this episode's really long, so maybe they got cut, but it just didn't seem right. So I guess some people messaged Soph on, like, I guess her DMs, like some people noticed in the Discord, and it got fixed. So here we are.
You know, I didn't even think about it that hard, really. When you brought it up, I was like, oh, I don't know about that. And then last night you were like, no, there's missing stuff.
No, I know. And then I was sending
like,
the screenshots to you guys. I was like, there's a lot missing.
It's like another mini update. It's wonderful. And it's
know.
lucky.
We got Christmas twice.
Yeah, and as your dedicated PH co-host, we came back just to record these panels.
Well, this is the dessert. Like
Oh.
we said yesterday, like this is what we really wanted to get to. So of
This is
course we
second
have to
dessert.
talk about it.
Yeah, this is like the cherry on top of the dessert that we already got yesterday.
Yes.
Yeah. So right after he puts his hand on her shoulder, and she is like, "What?" We have, speaking of dessert, the sweetest face ever. I know. Look, he's so loving. This
Oh my
man
God,
is like
blue
so.
eyes.
I used the word besotted. He's like so obsessed with her, and such.
Besotted is a good word. Besotted is a very
The
good word.
sincerity, the sincere happiness that he is feeling for her, being able to achieve that, it's radiating from him like the beautiful golden sunlight on his face.
I mean, she's just being showered in praise from this man. He's like, I was so proud of you. This is so deserved. You deserve it more than anyone. Look at you go. It's
Yeah.
so sweet. It's so sweet.
he would definitely be
right?
the type of guy who, like, if they get married, whatever, like she does anything, he's like, that's my wife. Like, look at her
Yes.
go.
100. Look at her go.
From
Solving
your
all of
mouth-
𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏's crimes while
Your
looking
mouth
so
is
beautiful.
pen.
I love that woman.
Oh, he totally will be. Oh my gosh, I want to see it so bad.
Getting
Oh,
the crumbs are getting bigger every day.
Oh my gosh.
one day we'll have a whole loaf
We'll
of
have a
bread.
whole loaf of bread from his breadcrumbs. But it's just the panels completely changed the tone of the scene, because whenever he went to grab her shoulder, without the next panels, she looks almost concerned. I don't know exactly what the right wordage there,
it
but she's
came
looking
off-
down and she's like, why is he, like, it's kind of like what's going on here? Why is he touching my shoulder? And then it immediately went into, like, you just assumed she brushed it off or something, and then she was talking about sleeping forever.
Yeah.
Mhm. Yeah,
So it
I just
didn't
kind of
really, like,
assumed she was
flow.
like, what's going on? Like, oh, we're
Yeah,
finally getting
but
some.
the next couple of panels, it's seamless and you see her face and it just makes so much more sense now.
Mm-hmm. So he continues, he's like, nobody could deny it after yesterday. And which is, he already praised her tons yesterday, but now he's, just even more piling it on. And her face is, I love that expression. Like we were talking about how the expressions are so good.
Yes.
She is a little surprised, but then, and
She's taken aback. She's
Yeah.
completely taken aback.
Stunned.
but she's taking it in also. She's, I think, finally like integrating, and it's settling on her brain that this man likes her and that he respects her and he appreciates her. And the next panel, she looks away because she's a little uncomfortable. It's hard for people to accept praise often, but she smiles. She's proud of herself, and she's like happy that he's happy for her. Like she's able to really like delight in that glee and like that self-pride.
Like
And
how
it
well she does.
Mhm. It's like and she's hearing him, he's saying the truth, he's looking sincere, and I think in that moment she's kind of like, wow, like again, like you said, taken aback, but also just like, I wonder if she's also thinking about like, how did we, like, look at how far we've come from, like, I can't believe this is the same guy I was trying to arrest however many months ago for like murder, and now he's here like giving me all this praise,
All
and
this
he's so
amazing
great,
compliments.
and he was helping me out to get to this point, and he's always been there, and it's just like, I think it's all kind of dawning on her, Oh.
I think she feels very seen. I think that this is, she and Kieran connect, and he understands her and he respects her and appreciates her. And like when you find your special someone, that feeling of like security and being appreciated and valued for who you are and like your innate and your core self, he appreciates who she is at her core, like her passion, her strength, her not giving upness, her stubbornness. He appreciates all that about her, the things that like make her her. So it's just
all the things that he said in, what was it, 136, her kindness, her bravery, her warmth.
He makes her feel known, like she feels known, and then also she's coming to know him too, and it's that kind of growing intimacy, not like obviously just intimacy in terms of like just how close they've become, right? It's just so nice to see. Look at how far we've come. We do joke about how it's taking a million years, but no, this is progress that we've had.
We've made a lot of progress this season. So much progress this season. But no, I think you're on the money, Mindy. Like that is a look of she's being seen and she's kind of taking it all in, because in the previous earlier in the episode, she was praised by Herman and March, but it was kind of mixed with these half-truths. And, Herman, it seems like, did it kind of semi-unwillingly. We also are pretty sus of March. It seems like he kind of has, I think he does truly believe that she's, super smart and thinks she deserves to get her rank back. But March also seems to have some alternative motives for wanting to use her skills, whereas everything that's coming from Kieran right now is just pure adoration.
It's all sincere, it's all truth, and she feels like 100%
so sincere, because the boy can't lie. We learned this from, what was it, 142? He can't lie.
No, but yeah, what to your point as well, that whole thing, that makes so much sense as well, because with the other two, it's like she was being sus of March and she was uncomfortable with that, and then Herman was doing it begrudgingly, had all these lies in it. Kieran is the one who's genuinely happy for her and like making the big deal out of it that it should be, like making her feel good about it. And I think it's probably maybe the first time that they, unless she's talked to like Kim or like Will, because I guess Kim is still gone, but maybe the first time that she had that type of reaction, and that's the reaction she should have gotten, but maybe because of all the other things she hadn't been expecting it either, so that's why it's so big for her.
Also because they have to keep it on the down low, like Herman said. They can't make like a big announcement. Like normally I feel like that would be a big announcement at the APD office, and they would have a party and an announcement or something. But since they have to keep it on the down low, it's like she's got this big achievement and she can't really like share it with anybody, but she knows she can share it with Kieran, but she's getting like the most beautiful sincere reaction from him.
I love
the man is in love.
Oh my gosh, I love it. And she says, I actually can't believe it. I was convinced Herman would never budge, especially given his barely concealed suspicions that I might be a loon. Okay, that kind of confirms what we had earlier in the episode, the line we were wondering.
I'm glad they brought that back up again, because that was a while ago. So like they really did need to kind of remind us that like, oh yeah, he's sus. Like remember, good little thing to drop
when
in
he
there.
Like came after her in the locker room.
Whenever I think of that scene, I just think of that art that's so posted
I
of like
know, with
him
the
and Laura and
lipstick,
the
that's
makeup.
all I can think about. Yes, queen.
Yes.
So good.
And now Kieran is putting on his coat that he says his personal vendetta against his biggest ally never made sense in the first place. So yes, loon. Good to know he's got some common sense. But so I like how pragmatic Kieran is.
I wonder if he talks about the personal vendetta. We've heard that it's because he was jealous of Tristan becoming chief. I wonder if we're gonna get into that, because we've only really heard it. We've never seen Herman and Tristan really interact outside of a really stressful situation where obviously they are professional enough to put personal things to the side for the sake of like what's going on. So I wonder if we're gonna get more on that potentially, because I found that we haven't really seen anything of it. We just kind of hear about it, but is that the truth though?
That's what I'm kind of thinking, where we're going to get a lot more information about Herman, because I know we were talking about earlier when we recorded yesterday, we were talking about how Herman, we don't really know much about him.
Right.
Like we're getting all of this information on March, which is, like I said, could possibly be making him a red herring, but like Herman, we don't really know much about whatsoever. We still really don't know what this vendetta was with her parents, and other than jealousy, I don't know. I feel like we have a lot of puzzle pieces to put together with Herman.
I actually always wonder if Herman is going to stay what he is right now, like a one-dimensional character. He's the overbearing, strict boss, or if he's like that, portrayed like that for a reason, and at the end he'll be like this shock and twister and like surprise us all.
You think he's gonna be like a Snape, situation? There's been a lot of theories about him pulling like a Snape.
Yeah,
that would be interesting, like double agent.
I have the same wonder for like the butler and Lady A, if they're just like whatever they are, or if they're
no, I don't want them to ever come back. Let's be done with them. They can. I'm done. I'm sure they'll come back, but I would be just fine if they never came back ever again.
It's funny. Yeah, when she harassed Will, I was like, lady, you are done. You were like, but so now Kieran, he's so funny. He smacks his head and he's like, sighs, and then he looks up at her. Oh my god, that look is so when he like looks up, right? It's like
Sir.
head is down, and then you just look up. Wow. Whew.
Every panel of Kieran is wow.
Beautiful
Yes.
man.
This one in particular. And he's like,
Oh.
damn it, does that actually make me your subordinate? Everybody knows archivists are at the bottom of the food chain in a precinct. You've officially got the right to bully me now.
So dramatic, and it's so cute.
Way to maintain the inside joke and the banter, Kieran. You know what we want, and you're providing it. And I love it. And like he's kind of trying to keep the mood light, trying to like joke and make things nice and easy. And also we were talking about his face. I love the little glow on his like the sides of his
Oh,
face.
from the
It
sun.
glows
Yeah,
from
the
sun.
lighting is so good.
So
You know
it's
what
been
that
doing
panel
that?
kind of reminds me of? It reminds me of the one from, oh gosh, what's the number? I forgot. The one that's like got 0 words, his fight with Raphael, where he's like wet at the end. And he kind of like does that, like push the hair. Yeah, he's like doing that thing again, like looking up, and he's looking out. Yeah, he's one of the best panels
It's
of
got that
all
water like
time.
spitting out of his mouth.
Oh my gosh.
So
That
good.
should go on top of your bed.
That one should, yeah, it'll go right up. Yeah, right up
So
there.
should begin selling that one as a poster too.
I
yeah.
should request that one at the con if I go see.
Mm.
So
Be like, I will pay you a premium.
I need it custom made.
Well, if you have the Patreon,
You
you
are
already have
close.
the HD version of it, so you can just get it printed yourself on like high quality paper and stuff. That might be cheaper than shipping and stuff.
True. For the wet Kieran.
The wet Kieran.
Yes.
I don't know what else to call it other than wet.
I mean, yeah, because we at least the other fan arts have like names like Torn.
I
We
know,
call
like
it
torn and yeah, but like that one's not a fan art. It's just canon in the episode. I'm like, it's wet Kieran. I don't know what
Yeah.
else to call it.
Awesome. So speaking of sexy stuff, Lauren smacks him and he's like, don't throw me in jail, detective, which led to our conversation that Kieran totally wants
The
to be
man
dominated.
wants to be dominated. The man wants to be dominated. We're just putting it out there. We were messaging about it. We're just putting it out there. He's making it so obvious. It's far too easy. I think it's like a kind of generally known thing, like men who are in like high positions of
Mhm.
power, you know,
Yeah.
like to
Mhm.
be submissive because it gives up the like lack of control or whatever.
Yeah,
And I
so,
think
like, it's
that
like they're
maybe
not
just because
working.
like Kieran being the PH, like living this life that he doesn't want to live and is very high stress and he doesn't have a lot of control over,
Mhm.
you know, the course of actions of his life. I'm like, the man just wants to submit to this sexy redhead.
I'm of the opinion that they're both switches, but that's just me. I feel like they could both be very like controlling or like want
No,
to be
for
in charge
sure.
when they
I get
want
both
to, and
vibes
then
from Kieran
which-
100%, but he's putting it out into the
Oh, yeah.
universe that he wants to be dominated in this moment.
Yes.
Oh yeah.
Like, put some handcuffs on me, throw me in jail, tell me what to do.
What I remembered though is that like he can like pick himself out of handcuffs easily with like nothing. I remembered like in one of the first
Oh,
episodes
yeah,
she
yeah.
handcuffed him and he was just like, huh. So maybe for the sake of the vibes, he'll just be like, oh no, I am handcuffed.
He'll go along with it. He'll go along with it for
Yeah.
her sake.
Mhm. Oh, it's
God.
adorable.
But it's so
So
cute. Like
cute.
her little push, it's just
So
she's touching
comfortable.
his chest.
Mhm.
It's so flirty. Like you don't do that unless you're flirting. You don't just push another guy's chest if you're like platonic.
I sent this in the server earlier today, and it was wait, let me find it. It's like, wow, if I had a nickel for every time 𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏 got playful in the archives, I'd have 2 nickels, which isn't a lot, but it's weird that it happened twice because yeah, they were also super touchy flirty. The last time we saw them together in the archives when he was like making all the jokes about like still
Yes.
horny and like pulling her to
Uh-huh.
dance and calling her detective.
Oh yeah, and then she pushed him and was like, "Shut the fuck up,"
Mhm.
and they
The
were both
evolution.
laughing.
Mm.
Oh, I love them so much.
It's
Them.
just anything
much.
that happens in the archives is magical.
The amount of fan fiction about them in the archives that
Is
is going like that
my
exists,
favorite.
and it's going to be more now because now she's allowed.
She
in the
can be in there.
archives.
Well, is it as good now that it's not forbidden?
I mean, with the way that those fics go, like what they doing is not allowed.
You have to send me that fanfic, and also Bundin, I just realized I didn't read your fanfic, the last chapter.
Oh my god, yeah.
It's
Yeah.
so good, Mindy. Mindy,
Okay, so
it's
I'll do it
good.
tonight. I'm
It's
gonna do it
so
tonight.
good.
It's
Bundin wrote a
29,000 words,
masterpiece.
Mindy. It's so gonna take a while.
Also, I will send you that fanfic, my favorite one
Yes.
that's in the
Yes,
archives,
please
because
do.
I'm like, woohoo.
I might have to save that one for a more auspicious time.
Yeah, if you need
Not
any
when we're sick and
inspiration,
tired.
When the time
read
is
that
right.
one. I think I sent that one to you, Bundin. That was a while
You
back.
did. So like if anything, we could look in like Discord DMs. 'cause we
Yeah,
don't
yeah,
really
it
talk
should
on
save
Discord
it,
much.
and then I'll send it to you.
Yeah.
Nice. All right. And now she says, she chuckles and she says, yeah, sure, I'll think about it. And now he has, the line that ties it together. He's like, an event like this, it's got to be celebrated.
Now
And
it's
he
all
brought it
tied
up.
in. Now it all makes sense.
Mhm. And he initiated this. He wants to take her out. He was like, we're going to celebrate.
Yeah.
And we know he said that, but now he's like, he brought the celebration up.
Yep.
He wants to
what
take his
is this-
woman out. Because it's a
what
big
is this-
deal. He realizes that it's such a big deal that she's been working on this for so long.
And he's been trying to
Year.
help her, right? Like I keep going back to this point, but yeah, ever since he really learned about the reason why she got demoted, he's been trying to help her, not only for like his own sake to kind of make it up to her for everything that happened in like 43, but also because he genuinely wants to see her succeed again. He thinks, he knows that she's suited for it, that this is what she's made for. Literally, she is passionate about it, and he knows that she could be helpful, and he just wants to help her out, and he did, and it was great. I'm so happy that it's finally here, and now he's just so happy for her and wants to celebrate with her, and it's just nice.
So good. They've come so far since season 2, because you're right, like he's been helping her out for a while, and a big part of that was I think there was a lot of like guilt induced, like trying to make up for 43. And gosh, I'm totally gonna get the number wrong, but one of my favorite episodes, I think it's 80, is it 84, where she goes to his place and he's got the high bun, and it's my favorite look ever. He's got the open shirt and the high bun. I'm like, ha! And then they like touch fingertips because he hands her the coffee and they like freak out.
Oh yeah.
And he said, I have what you need for Qiao's case to fix it. And then he tells her about what he did, and she goes, why are you doing this? And he goes, no reason. And it's in red. That's one of my favorite moments. But I feel like now we've come so far, he's helping her because he genuinely, I think they're over the guilt phase of trying to make up for 43. I feel like we're past that. I know some people may disagree. I think we're past that. I don't necessarily think it's going to come up again.
I think we passed that in 142 when she literally took off his glasses and said, I'm not afraid of you. You're not a monster.
Yeah, I agree. I think that was the resolution of that.
But I feel like in terms of their relationship and its progress, I feel like it might come up because it's not necessarily, well, it might manifest in the form of like, I've hurt you before, but his own just self-hatred and thinking he's not good enough and like not wanting to bring that on her. That might cause that to bubble up. But I feel like their actual relationship, like at its core, is basically healed at this point.
I agree. I feel like it probably will come up again in conversation. I just feel like emotionally they're past that.
Yeah.
It's good.
It's
Mini update. It's great.
It's so good.
The best. Yeah. And I think we, we will now resume with the regularly scheduled episode. Either way, romance. And she stretches now, and her shirts are really cool. It's like this very flappy material. She says, I would love to celebrate it with sleep, actually. Lots of sleep, which I'm like, yes.
Sleep with your man.
Right. I was like, yeah, sleep, like with who?
Oh my God, y'all. Girl needs sleep. If there's one thing I can appreciate is a girl who needs a nap.
Right, but like
also same.
Yeah. But like she could sleep next to him. Like I don't know.
They haven't even hugged, and y'all want them to sleep in the same bed. We gotta get there. Gotta progress.
No.
I'm just saying she'll sleep better.
Exactly.
She is under attack now. There's a target on her back. She has to lay low. Who else to keep her safer than the PS's lead assassin? I mean, truly. This is for safety reasons, you guys. She needs a bodyguard.
Exactly.
Bodyguard duty for Kieran.
Right. And he has to be really, 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 really close to her, because if he's too far, he won't protect her.
Obviously, yeah.
Y'all's thirst is showing. Y'all need for the ship.
No shame.
Honestly,
great.
I can't say shit. I can't, because I'm usually right there with you.
And like, I'm trying to think of like, obviously they can't be wearing clothing because
Well, no, because it's about the body warmth, like.
they can't afford electricity. They don't have.
No, Kieran's
It's
got
broken.
like candles, like he's got to save on that bill. The PS only pays so much.
It's really
Oh my
cold. It's really, really cold in our house.
Your thirst is showing, ladies.
Like, it's just so cute. I just need them to kiss and fall in love and get married.
I feel like I think someone sent the meme where it's like, I don't know, I didn't think I would get this far. That's gonna be me when 𝗏𝗏𝗱𝗃 kisses. Like, what are you gonna do? It's like, I don't know, I didn't think I would get this far.
Collectively, we will all cease to function.
Indeed.
Yeah. Basically, we all like don't go to work the next day because we just
No, like I will call in. I'll be like, I have to lay in the bed and stare at the ceiling
where your Kieran poster is
with my Kieran poster on the ceiling just for 12 hours. Just
like, you kept it under wraps. They're like, today's the day. You take it out. You put it on the wall. Just sit there.
Today's the day we are putting this up on the wall.
We just do a Zoom call or something where we're all just gushing about the episode for like hours, and then eventually
we're gonna have to do like the pre-call to prep for the podcast because it's just gonna be incoherent nonsense.
It's just gonna be us screaming. There's gonna be rave lights. There's gonna be crying. There's gonna be a lot of praising of deities.
I'm gonna get like some little sparklers. Like it's gonna be an event.
fireworks,
some confetti,
birthday cakes.
We're gonna pop champagne.
I like this.
Dancing.
I think we should. Yeah, I'm good.
I'm gonna pop champagne on camera.
Yeah.
Oh my god, yes.
Like I will do it, and I'm scared to open those bottles because they're always so loud.
I've never opened one. The sound scares me.
I'll get those.
Or the
sparkles.
lucky
I even have one already.
Like what? Freaking like 2 years from now.
2 years.
Watch it happen like soon, and we're just gonna be completely like unprepared. Imagine, it'd be great.
I have no words.
Mm-hmm. We're just, even in the anticipation, we have no words. So now he grabs her arm again, more touching. And he says, "Sleep is for the weak. Come." And she's like, "Whoa, what are you doing?" And he's pulling her behind him, totally joyous, totally laughing, totally excited. And he looks around. He's like, "Merely doing my job as boyfriend, taking you out to celebrate."
And the crowd goes wild.
Like everybody likes that. Bro, how many times have you been like, I'm your boyfriend? I need like, you're not subtle.
Every episode, they're together.
Ever since he realized that he's like, oh no, I'm catching feelings and that is not good. And then like he tried to distance himself, and Lauren's like, ha, that's funny. Shut up. And then
one episode. He tried for one episode. That was it.
He likes her. Like, I mean, it's Lauren in glasses. What are you gonna say to that? Right? Like,
oh my god! Oh, they got that released today. I think
it did release today for the non-pass pass.
We're gonna die! I can't wait to start seeing everybody post about
the
that.
Edits are gonna be great.
They're gonna be so good. Oh my god! Can't wait for the edits. But this panel of him grabbing her and running, like the cutest puppy of a human. Like, hello.
Maybe that should be my episode, our cover.
Oh, you know what? I should probably send the meme that I made back when I was talking to I had 5 different conversations about this when it was on stream. I was talking to Lily, I was talking to Emily, I was talking about all a bunch of different people, and I made that meme with Guy. He's like, Kieran in a coat, gotta be one of my favorite genders. I like, because
yes,
about it, but I think that's probably
is chef's kiss.
Always so good.
I know the tie and the coat and the
best. It matches his trousers and the hair.
No, why is it that when men put on more clothes, they get hotter?
I think it's about achieving the shape, right? It's achieving the.
I don't know. Just like, why you got like 4 layers on, and this is like the sexiest thing you could possibly put on.
Yes. Love it.
What is the note at the end? I didn't read it. I was so caught up in the euphoria of that last bit. It said, I didn't intend to draw. Hang on, I didn't intend to draw Lauren so happy. It was an accident, but I guess I'll give her at least that after 147 episodes. See, even Soap is talking about like I didn't mean for it to be this happy, but damn.
It just happened. She said it just happened that way.
Oh, I love it. So I will say, when I read that, as soon as she said I'm taking you out to celebrate, I'm like, girl, you're supposed to lie low. They're totally gonna get attacked while they're being felt like celebrating. That's my thought.
I know, it makes me wonder if they're gonna go out and do something and low key, like there's gonna be some kind of PS spy, or freaking Raphael, one of our favorite people, will just happen to pass by.
I just want a date, man. Are they like he said boyfriend? I feel like it's gonna be a date. Like,
No, they're going on a date. Like, what do we think the name? It could be, what would be a good name for the next episode?
Daring date.
delightful date.
Oh, that'd be cute.
Dangerous date, because they're gonna do something dangerous.
Oh.
I don't know.
You don't want it.
I just them. Just them. It's like
I can't wait. A week is too long.
I want them to
A
be
week
like
is too long.
starry rooftop, looking into each other's eyes, like feeding each other strawberries. Please. Chocolate.
and they got like
Some
that's
chocolate
Amore
everything.
playing in the background.
This version of Lucky is like a Hallmark card. There's fireworks in the background. They're on a rooftop. They're feeding each other chocolate covered strawberries.
There's beautiful guitar music in the background.
That's when we're gonna pop the champagne. They're on a gondola.
in Venice.
In Venice, may as well.
Venice.
Takes her on a boat ride there to Venice. They could be
Not
on
as
the roof with
romantic as
Coco.
you would think. The canals really stink.
I mean, that's what I heard.
It was very hot, but it was still fun.
I went there a few weeks ago, but it didn't stink. At least not when I was there.
Oh, in Venice. I think as I went like right in the smack dab middle of the summer, it was so hot.
Mhm.
But this was a good one, guys. We got a little bit of Lucky dessert at the end. A lot of theorizing.
Yes.
Good episode. We got a lot. I feel like we
It
got
was
a lot
long.
multiple
This
times.
one was so long.
I've been
Mhm.
saying this webtoon is ruining other webtoons for me because now I'm expecting these gigantic chapters and then I'm like, what do you mean it's over already? God.
No,
what
seriously,
is
every
spoiling
time I
me?
ever I think Mindy, you read it, but have you guys been reading Blood Reverie?
Yeah, I love
It's
Blood
so good. It's
Send
so
it to me in the DMs. I'll check it out.
It's so short though. Every time I read it, I'm like, the fuck, it's already over. That took me 30 seconds.
That's like me with Eternal Nocturnal. I feel like those
Yes.
episodes feel
Oh
like
yeah,
very
Eternal
short.
Nocturnal, I swear, is like 9 panels and it's over.
No, but it's also so good. That finale.
I'm like, yeah, and like
Yeah.
for PH, it's like the length of the episode is like when you get the banner, you know, with
All
the
right.
you know, PHP feeding us, Sophie's feeding us. I'm so happy about it.
Blood Reverie is so, and it keeps getting better.
I know. Well, maybe we'll do another episode of that in my, the infinitesimal amount of time we have.
I know,
But
right?
Here's Art Corner. Can you
Okay.
even choose a favorite panel? There's so many.
I mean, obviously, I feel like Happy Lauren with her badge is a standout. I'm really glad they picked this as the thumbnail as well. Because
That
what is
one
the
is
name of the episode?
perfect.
Right Reward.
This
Yeah.
one I loved too. The one
Oh,
with
oh god.
Kieran.
Oh, with Kieran being like,
Kieran, yeah, Kieran's happy face is so cute.
I was just.
I also just love the last panel because, like, I feel like even though he's in his archivist outfit with his glasses, this is a very like PH Kieran smirk
Mhm.
here.
You know, I was just rereading just a few of the other panels because I was in like the tag on Tumblr and I saw someone was like now reading it for the first time and it's like, oh my god, this man is so attractive. Then they began to sim for Will, but then they went back to Kieran and it's him just doing that look the entire
Newsflash,
time.
you can have them all.
You know, but obviously it's like you get more Kieran content. You don't get a lot of Will in season 1, we forget, but here we got a ton of Kieran in like the
Yeah,
first
not too much in season 1.
Yeah, and I'm
Or
just
in
like,
season
looking at it,
2, definitely season
picks
3.
up. Yeah.
picks up.
But yeah, he just his whole demeanor feels so much more different now. It was almost jarring because
there he's just always like smirking and saying all of these quips and like all of these like
He
being
was
sassy.
fronting. Boy was fronting so hard.
He was fronting so hard, and then now we've seen so much more of him.
But they
peel
both
back the
were.
layers.
I feel like it's more jarring for him, but she had such a wall up.
I mean, we still get that, but also I don't know if it's also just the change in the art style as well. It hasn't changed that much. He looks fundamentally the same, but I don't know, the vibes are so different. We've learned so much more. We've met him.
Strong disagree. Season 1 Kieran looks nothing like season 3 Kieran.
I mean, no, but it's
Man.
like I don't know. Like I feel like it's still
Ethnicity. He looks totally
okay.
different.
He got browner. He got browner. I think that's just because so changed how she renders.
It's
But I
season
don't know.
in like the first cave fight, he's the same shade as Lauren. Redheaded Lauren. They're the exact same shade.
Mm-hmm. I think again that's probably just rendering stuff, but I'm saying like the facial expressions is what I'm more talking about, like the essence. It feels so much different, but at the same time it's like, no, that's him. It's like I can't wait to reread this whole thing when it's all out and just get the entire journey of
Yeah.
I
him
don't know,
going
there's
from
something about, maybe it's just the art style now plus the development in their personalities and like the walls and the fronts coming down, but there's something about them looking so much softer.
yeah, I think
Like
that could be intentional.
Yeah, like I mean, look at that. Like the art style is so angular. Like even his hair is angular. Like everything is so
Mhm.
angular. So I feel
it is a lot more angles rather than like swooshes.
yeah. And so even though Soph's art style is still very like all the characters are still very like willowy and thin, and they'll have like high cheekbones, and you know, it's still like very, I don't know, but I think they're just softer now.
They do look softer now, and I think that could be just the change in art style, but it could also be intentional to kind of show they're being more themselves. They're letting their guards down. They're allowing themselves to open up to each other and to like the worlds around them to feel again, and like in ways that they hadn't allowed themselves to.
Mm.
And just them. That's all I can say.
Oh,
Them.
this episode was great. It was awesome. I'm very
this
happy.
was a good episode. This was a banger.
Very good. They've been really good lately. I would say like I want to say the past like 10 or 15 episodes have been amazing. Like especially I feel like it's been really consistently good for like weeks now.
Yep.
Yeah, I don't know if we've had any like bad ones. I don't want to say bad, but
Even the ones that don't have a lot of like the interpersonal character interactions, we still get really good plot stuff. The art's still good. It feels like we're still moving forward with the main plot. It's been good. It's been great.
I don't know. I feel like there's been a lot of like criticisms of season 3 where not a lot has happened, but then if you reread season 2, you realize a lot of shit is happening in season 3 compared to season 2.
Yeah.
So I don't know. I think just because there's so many more characters and it goes in so many more different directions.
A lot more moving parts where
A lot
like
more moving
Lauren and
parts.
Kieran were the only characters basically in season 1 with like a few episodes just for Kim and Will. Then it expanded and now it's to the point there we had no 𝗏𝗏 interactions at all between 136 and 142 basically, right? From when we see Kieran comes to the realization to when they actually talk. That entire time I don't think they interact once, but that we're focusing on other things that are important to the plot, and I don't mind that, but it just shows we need to kind of take the time to check on all of these other characters and their plot
There's
lines.
a lot of Bella, 𝗏𝗏, what else was going on?
Plot in general.
But
All right.
this-
Well, ladies, it's been a while. I know my dear husband.
Oh
has
yeah,
been
it's
going to
late.
use
for
the
you guys.
bedroom.
It's late, yeah. But thanks so much for doing it tonight, guys. Super appreciate it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I am excited to that earlier. This was so much fun. Great episode. It was
So much fun.
fantastic. It was
So,
awesome.
maybe
Thank
see you guys
so
next
much.
week.
What?
For the happy day.
Yes.
All right.
So excited for next week.
Woohoo.
All right. You guys have a lovely evening.
You too. Good day. Bye.
Thank you to my current patrons: Susie, Lady Limpus, Lily, Molly, Veronica, Emily, Joe Rochelle, Saucy Toggles, Anna Rose, Alexa, Misty, Joanne, Imelda, Esther, Watching You People, Emily, Jean, Jen, Kay, Lily, Beckett, Christine, Sadie, Teresa, Mrs. Castaldo, Nini, and Emma Pora. Your support is truly appreciated.